La 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 la. Hello, my treasures. Welcome back to Leonie Dawson Refuses to Be Categorized, the podcast. Today, I'm going to be taking you through my July 2021 business and life review. This is our new tradition, a monthly review, in which I'm going to cover my life blessings and challenges, what's been happening on that front, what I've created, how much my business earned, my goals for next month, all that stuff. This will be a wee bit shorter this month. I'll just dot point most of it because, instead of going into the huge amounts of detail that I did previously, because when I wrote this, I was back in lockdown doing online schooling with my kids, so I was totally spread a wee bit thin. So I still wanted to get this done and share it with you. So when I did my June review, which I did a blog post about and a podcast episode about, you can find that out, I set some goals for July. So my July goals were getting the kids settled back into school and with their 3 new extracurriculars. Did that, nailed it, fuck yeah. Continuing our reading intensive with our kids, doing that, nailing it, seeing huge results, so thrilled. I wanted to finish reading the Famous Five novel to the kids. Done that. We also read Lauren Child's illustrated version of Mary Poppins. And on the work front, for me, it was less about setting a real specific goal and more just like circling back around after another big launch, catching up on daily blogging and seeing what wants to be created next. And done. Like, I definitely feel like I'm all caught up. So in terms of what happened for me in July, we started the month in a snap 3-day lockdown while Queensland eradicated a COVID-19 bubble again after it bubbled up. Australia, unlike other countries, there's some countries that have done it this way. We've gone for an eradication approach through lockdowns. We haven't done it perfectly. We aren't doing vaccinations perfectly yet, but we have kind of contained it through doing these kind of lockdowns. So I'm I'm really happy to do them. And of course they totally come at a little cost as well. And that's fine. And I want to say, I recognize I'm completely privileged in being able to go through lockdowns and do online schooling and, coping with it, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, what else happened in July? I also tried out the Getting Things Done system, which I've been talking about. I made a book bag for the car, which was a cute little canvas bag that I shove a whole bunch of books in so that my kids, when we're out and about, if they're bored at any time, they can grab a book out and just really increasing that incidental reading. We also had a picnic with friends at the river. I tried adhesive tiles as a quick DIY project. I just bought a packet of self-adhesive 3D tiles from, I think it was Kmart, and I think I've got it online. I tried it out. I mean, they're not the most amazing things on earth, but they definitely look really cute. So it was good to trial it out and even just test what I would want in that area instead. And turns out I really like the design. If you want to see the photos, you can head on over to the blog and see the photos of the project. In other news, my biggest kid had her first play date without me. And then a couple of weeks later, she went to the movies and a birthday party without me. It was in the presence of another adult. But, without her parents, so big. She's so big and so grown up. Can you imagine? For those of you who've been around, when baby Starry was born with those big eyes, and she's just so fucking cute. And she still looks like that. And she's so fucking cute. Oh, bless. I also encouraged her to start a book club with one of her besties. I went to a bookstore with her and her bestie and my littlest kid, and I was like, you know what, guys, I'm happy to buy you a book as long as they're matching so that you can read them together. And so they bought 2 sets of matching books and immediately ran through them, and then she bought some books in return for them to read through, and then we've done the same, and it's just really cute, and it's great to see them really just getting obsessed with books. My kids also did a horse workshop with one of my big kids' besties. They're not doing riding stuff. They do it natural kind of horsewomanship stuff, and it's so super cool. We also did a road trip to visit my husband's parents, and I started renovating an old bookshop bookshelf that was sitting in our garage covered in bird shit. We have had this bookshelf, I think it's the first thing that we bought in our relationship as a couple. I think we got it for $100. It's a chipboard, and it's probably like 18, 19 years ago that we bought it. And it's been painted. We painted it blue because it came just bare chipboard. And it's just been through the absolute ringer. And then I thought I would get rid of it. And I put it in our garage waiting for charity people to pick it up. And in the meantime, we have nesting birds in our garage. And the birds were like, oh, cute. Thanks so much for the stand, guys. So appreciate it. Tweet, tweet, yay. And so they've just been like using it as a little perch, and so it was totally covered in bird shit. And then the house again exploded with books, and I was like, fuck, I need another bookshelf. Oh, that's right, I've already got one. It's in the garage. Oh, it's covered in bird shit. So I washed it all down, and now I am repainting it the most bright, like gouge your eyes out kind of bright pink. It's so awesome. I'm so keen. I haven't completely finished it yet because it's going to go back into my office, but first I need to get a couple of things done in my office, which I've complained about already, because my office keeps flooding and I need to work out a way to fix that fucking thing. What else? Oh, I started some good habits. I started making smoothie bowls, which is a habit I'd like to do more of. If you're in Australia, like, here's my recommendation. This is something that you might like to try out. So at Woolworths, they have these smoothie bowl packets, and they're called Connect Foods Organic Cacao Maca Smoothie Bowl with probiotics. You can get it in like the health food section. It's just like a little sachet, and then you just blend it with one banana and 200 mils of like nut milk or whatever kind of milk you have. And then that makes like the smoothie base, and then you just like put a whole bunch of shit on top of it. So I put like peanut butter granola, cacao crunch toppers that I got from Woolworths as well, shredded coconut, and chopped fresh fruit like bananas, strawberries, kiwi fruit. Anyway, it's fucking delicious. My favorite cafe, Raw Energy, does smoothie bowls, and I really like them. They do like the acai. I don't love the taste of acai, so I much prefer like this cacao kind of mixture instead. It's fucking delicious. So there you are. If you're looking for something delicious to eat, smoothie bowls, cute. They're basically a smoothie in a bowl with shit on top. Lots and lots of shit. I also made a lot of apple tarts and egg and bacon pastry tarts for my kids' school lunches. And then we end up like eating half of them at home because they're just so tasty. I got this recipe off my darling mate, Tam, and she just uses puff pastry and, maybe she doesn't use a puff pastry. Maybe that's what I do. I don't know. We'll carry on. No, I think she uses puff pastry, and no, maybe she doesn't. It doesn't matter, guys. Let's just carry on. I can't remember if she's gluten-free or not. I should know this. Anyway, she just like does like cooks up some chopped bacon and then whisks up some egg and then chucks it in the oven for like 10-15 minutes until they're golden. So I've been making them like that. I just put puff pastry as in like a little square on the bottom. She absolutely does use puff pastry now I think about it. I also put like cheddar cheese on top of mine as well, and that makes it even more delicious. And in terms of making an apple tart, it's kind of the same thing in that I just put puff pastry square in a muffin container, oiled, and then I cut up a whole bunch of apple, and I just cook it in a saucepan with a little bit of coconut sugar because I'm a fancy hippie. You probably just do some just normal sugar, but I quite like the coconut sugar taste. It's like a little bit more molassesy and almost like a little bit of spice in there as well. So I do that, and then I just chuck them on the puff pastry and cook them for 15 minutes. And again, free and delicious and so warm and so no. And I mean, we're in winter in Australia, so it's kind of like just a nice wintry thing. What else? Okay. I also found a handyman to quote us to fix up my leaking office. I'm still waiting on the quote. 2 weeks later, I'm like, come on, dude, I just need to fix this fucking leaking office, please. I also had some invasive fig trees removed from the back of our acreage because they're now classed as a weed in our shire, and they're those fig trees that their roots go into, like, they attack the thingy-mabobs, the water things, pipes, that sort of stuff. So I think we took those out, and they are classed as a weed. They're not native to this area at all. And then we will probably replace with some more natives in there, in that patch. And I'd like a jacaranda tree in there, even though they're not native. I just like some kind of flowering colour tree, because we've got all natives on our block, and I have so loved when we've had houses that have some flowering trees. I also got a bunch of frangipani, quite small frangipani shrubs that will grow quite big. So I think I'll pull them out from where they are, which is next to a shed, kind of a bad spot, and go plant them at the back there as well. So they'll kind of be just like a native garden plus some flowering trees in there, which make me so happy. I just love frangipanis, especially since my beautiful great aunt Lucy had just so many frangipanis in her garden, and it just reminds me of her and her sister, my grandmother, and it just makes me happy in the heart. What else? I did go on quite a few bushwalks, which is definitely a habit I'd like to do more. There is some bushwalk spaces at the end of my street. I'm so lucky I didn't find it till a year after we lived here. And I think it's about 50 acres or so, and it's beautiful wetlands and kind of coastal scrub. It is beautiful, and also one of my favorite parts is that during some part of it, I walk at the back of other people's acreage homes, and there's this big mob of chooks, and that, like, as soon as they see me, they like run to me like I'm the great chicken mother, and it just, I just fucking love it. They're my new friends. I also started using Noom, which is kind of like a, I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of like one of those healthy eating and exercise things, but it takes it from a psychology approach. I don't know. I'm still undecided if I'll become an addict or not, but, I'm just trying it out. I also finished studying Tara Brach's Awaken Your Heart, Creativity and Wisdom program through Udemy, udemy.com, and not sponsored whatsoever. I just find I have like a more peaceful week if I study a Buddhist course on the weekend. It just really fills my well, and I'm very grateful. And I also got my art journal back after it's been all around New Zealand and Australia, being drawn in by over a dozen friends. Just such an absolute treat. I started this project about 2 years ago where me and I think there's like 15 of us, just friends, I put a shout out and I was like, hey guys, does anyone do like a collaborative creative project where we all buy small art journals and then we draw in them like a few pages and then we send it on to the next person in the list. And eventually you get your own journal back, just with other people's artwork in it. And that was just so precious, so beautiful. So I got mine back. It feels very, very lovely. And after all that, just to round things off, we finished the month in another snap lockdown while Queensland pushes to eradicate our bubble up of the Delta variant. So we had 8 days in lockdown again. And you know what? I'm really supportive of lockdowns and vaccines and science. And what I'm not supportive of is willfully putting other people's lives at risks and conspiracy theories. Like, fuck that nonsense. I just recognize that like lockdowns absolutely do come at a a cost that I'm more than willing to pay because better that than losing somebody else's life, or my own. And I keep on saying this, but I had swine flu a few years ago. It was absolutely horrific. It went on for 6 months and I was more unwell than I've ever been in my life. I want to ensure that I never have to experience that. I don't want my kids to experience it, my husband to experience it, and I don't want anyone else in my community to experience it. So, fuck that nonsense. Okay, all right, work. So I definitely had a quieter month this month as I wanted. I didn't launch anything, didn't do anything much of new. I was just ready to pause for it to get organised, slow down a wee bit and catch up on blogging and creating and prepping for the next thing. So I did my usual monthly group coaching call with all my course students, ran my new program, Marketing Without Social Media. I retired 2 old courses and I got organised to run another live round of 40 days to create and sell your e-course, which will start 1st of September. You can go to leoniedawson.com/e-course to find out all about that. So in terms of how much I earned in July, it was definitely a quieter month in July after 3 months of going over $100,000. And that's totally groovy and to be expected. So just through Kajabi in July, I sold about $47,000 and we earned just over $10,500 in other business income streams. And that doesn't include our personal investments. So if you want to know more about all my personal investments, all my income streams, I go through all of that in my money course, Money, Manifesting and Multiple Streams of Income. You can find it at leoniedawson.com/money. So all up, that was about $58,000 for the month, which was pretty amazing for a slow month where I didn't really do too much. And I used to earn that amount per year when I worked at an office job. I don't know, it just blows my mind that I can earn something now in a month what I used to earn in a year, and that's without really me doing much. And I also included a screenshot of my all-time income that I've earned through Kajabi so far. It's now over $1.5 million just through selling through Kajabi. Obviously, I've earned a lot more through my business. I think we're nearly over $11 million now. No, we're definitely over $11 million now. And yeah, it's just a thrill to earn over 7 figures just in one, through one platform. And Kajabi does this thing where they send out free shit when you reach over certain levels. When you reach over $1,000 of income from Kajabi, you get a t-shirt and it's got all these new levels. And I love earning shit. I really do. I love it. So for the $1 million mark, I got sent a video card congratulating me, which was so cool. It's just a card that you get in the mail, but you open it and there's a video screen in there and it automatically plays a message. It was pretty cool, actually. And a fancy Kajabi jacket, kind of one of those puffer jacket things. And I love swag. I honestly do. I love free shit. I love nerdy boy tech t-shirts. It's my style statement. I'm just not even kidding. I've been using Opt-in Monster for creating pop-ups and lead magnet forms on my website. And they offered me a free t-shirt if I did a campaign in the next 24 hours or whatever, just to make sure that I was actually using it. And I was like, fuck yeah, I love t-shirts. I was so excited. And I said to my assistant, oh my God, I'm getting a new free t-shirt. Oh my God, wait, do you want it though? Because I get all the free t-shirts. Did you want one? And she's like, no, Leonie, I don't want a free Opt-in Monster t-shirt. And I was like, phew, okay, because I really want it. But if you wanted it, I would have given it to you. And she's like, I do not want. And I just get so thrilled when I look at all my nerdy boy tech swag clothes that I wear. It's so great. I also wrote an absolute fuck ton of blog posts in the last month. If you go on over to leoniedawson.com/blog, you'll be able to find them there. I wrote about, I shared a collection of weird notes from my phone. I did a bit of personal writing about being a little bit too loose in my mouth and in my joints. I shared dot-pointed illustrated diaries. I talked about my hypothesis that George from Famous Five has autism. I talked about my Susan Branch obsession. I gave details about my reading challenge. I gave a huge list of all my favorite blogs and how to find other blogs. I did another update on the business success series in how to sell more with blogging. And I also shared my goals for the next 3 months as well. So in terms of my goals for August, we've been in another lockdown, could be extended further or could be like open back up and then we go back in. So in terms of like if it's a lockdown August, my biggest goals are helping the kids get through their online schooling, keeping up our energy with our reading intensive program, and making sure I stay sane and gentle and happy with good self-care. And if I can manage those and if, we're out of lockdown, then my reach goals are to finish promoting the next live round of 40 days to create and sell your e-course, finish the new goals workbook editions, take a course for self-study, start my project 10%. It's this idea I've had. If it's successful, I'll do a full debrief about it. I want to read a chapter of Atomic Habits and I want to study more Noom. So that's my thing. We've got this, my treasures. We can do the big and we can do the hard. Also, that's what she said. We can do the big and we can do the hard. Nice. So again, if you want to find all the links and all of the images over on the blog. And of course, if you have been thinking about creating and selling an e-course, you absolutely should be taking my program about this. We've had over 2,500 people go through this program now. We have had so many e-courses launched because of it and people earning more than they've ever earned in their businesses because of it. So we start at the end of this month. Make sure you're enrolled now at leoniedawson.com/e-course. Have a spectacular day and I am sending you so much love.